What is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, we're taking verse Kaido and a mono strength team into all of the 10-star Garp challenges. And I have to say, this team, this Kaido character for the Garp challenges, man, he's fun. So let's have a look at what Kaido actually does. His captain abilities are 5 times captain to strength, dex, and int. He gives a 1.3 times HP boost and reduces all enemies' HP by 20% at the end of turn. He also reduces their special charge by 2 turns at the start of the quest and increases the chances of landing on TND orbs and makes them matching. He just does so much. His special reduces all enemies' HP by 20%, ignoring all defensive effects, changes block recovery into TND, and boosts strength, dex, and int characters by 2.25 attack. And then if you land 3 perfects, the same colors get a 2.5 times orb boost on the previous turn. So utilizing 2 of them is very, very strong. And if you eat 10 recoveries, Semla or recovery, TND recovery or Semla orbs, you can actually get 500 times end of turn damage, as well as doing 3 times his damage in attack to one enemy with the highest HP. So because there's no normal attacks only in the Garp challenges, this guy just does absolutely wild things. And let's have a look at the strength team that I put together for you guys here. So on Kaido, we are using page 1. He removes attack down by 2 turns when inflicted and is very, very good for the WhiteBeard fight. The next sub we have is Marco and Ace. Marco and Ace are great to remove the stun on the Enel stage. Their special cuts your HP by 99%, and then they give our strength units a 2.75 times attack boost, while also healing 50 times their recovery at the end of turn. So because we lose so much HP, they're very, very good at giving us like a max, not a max heal, but like a pretty big heal at that end of turn as well. Their switch ability is absolutely amazing as well, as their switch ability can turn unfavorable slots into strength. So quick orbs become favorable for this particular team. They are very, very good, and that 2.75 times attack boost is very, very strong. We can also use the WhiteBeard support, Legend WhiteBeard, on Marco and Ace, as it is a Marco or an Ace unit. And he's going to remove Despair by 3 turns, which is amazing for the Dofi challenge. Next, we have Buggy. Now, Buggy does need to be limit break keyed for this team to work, and level 3 fear resistance. That way you can get around fear and special bind on the Enel stage. His special removes paralysis, special bind attack down by 5 turns, and because our captain is driven, we're going to get a full board of orbs, including block orbs. So Buggy works really, really well with Kaido, like really, really well. And his crewmate abilities remove special bind on himself by 5 turns, as well as paralysis by 1 turn. So very, very good unit, amazing for the final turn, as well as having the Dofi support. This Dofi support is actually like, I don't think that actually works once in any of the runs I do. I think it did when I did them off camera, but for these runs, it doesn't really mean too much. Next, we have Usohachi. Now, Usohachi is actually replaceable with Vivi Rebecca. I just found Vivi Rebecca was doing way too much damage, and I found it very hard to actually like stall. So getting the verse meter was a little bit harder. So Usohachi gives cooldown, as well as removing 5 turns of defense up, damage reduction, and threshold, as well as delaying for 2 turns. But the big reason he's here is the damage up removal, as well as his cooldown. He also has some crazy ass crewmate abilities, removing character special reverse by 2 turns, as well as reducing special bind duration by 1 turn. He's really, really good against the dude on the ball in the Enel stage as well. And with this particular character, we can actually use the Soulbomb support for a 1.3 times attack boost whenever we use his special, or the first time we use his special, I should say. But that's really not essential at all. The final unit on this team is actually the Event Luffy, the tank man that came out with, there's an Akainu, a Blackbeard, and a Luffy unit. Now, this guy removes Bind and Despair by 4 turns, and he's a Luffy, so he can actually have the Rayleigh support. He also gives strength characters a 1.75 times attack boost, but he is replaceable with like Rare Recruit Law. I'm pretty sure will work quite well with the Corazon support. It's basically like a mirror match, but I never use this Luffy like ever. So I decided, hey, well, it's a good time to start using him, right? The main reason I wanted a Luffy here is because I needed to be using this Rayleigh support. He's great at removing Bind, Despair, and Paralysis by 2 turns. Very, very strong against the Revolutionary Army quest, actually. Like, that's the big reason he's here. Finally, we're using the Victoria Punk. Victoria Punk actually came in handy against the Morley stage on Revolutionary Army, so it also increases the chance of landing on TND orbs, which just makes that verse meter like build up a lot quicker for Kaido. So that's the team. Let's hop into the runs now, and let's complete the 10-star events with the exact same strength team. So onto the first challenge now. We're taking on Dofi 1. Now, Dofi 1 for me, I've always found has been the trickiest, mainly because they give you 4 turns of Despair and 4 turns of Paralysis, and they do it twice, and without like utilizing supports, it can be a little bit tricky to actually get around, unless you have a character that has a very low cooldown. That can also help out too. But for this particular team, we are using the Event Luffy, the Tank Man Luffy, to get rid of the Despair. But as mentioned in the intro, you can replace him with like Law, as he can use the Corazon support. But with Marco and Ace, we can actually use the WhiteBeard support as well as the support on Luffy, the V1 Rayleigh, to actually just remove all the Despair easy peasy. So what we're going to do is on the Vacuum Cleaner Chick, we are going to utilize the special of our Kaido. That way we can just get just a butt ton of damage. We can easily hit our 3 perfects, and we can move on to the next stage. See you later. So on to the next stage now. We come against Rebecca. Rebecca's going to put up, is it 3 turns? Yeah, 3 turns of defense up, and then she paralyzes us for 3 turns as well, which is a little bit annoying to get around. But what we can do here is we can use the special of our Usohachi to remove the defense up. I also have the support of Sober Mask on Usohachi here. That way we can get an attack buff. And then we can use the Buggy special to remove the paralysis. Now, unfortunately, the Dofi support isn't going to proc here, as we don't, we already have an orb buff, I should say. But the best thing about using Buggy on the Kaido team is Buggy can actually provide us with a full board of orbs as well. On to the next stage against the Dressrosa units, we can use the special of our other Kaido now. That way we can get an extra attack boost, and we just want to try and take out as many of these guys as we possibly can. So let the tap timing just sort of do its work. With matching orbs, it's really not hard to take them all out besides King Punch. And then we can just utilize the 4 turns to take out King Punch here. Now, unfortunately, because we get the HP cut at the end of every turn, it makes things very, very annoying on this particular stage, as it's basically just like impossible to stall against King Punch. As if you try and stall, you can actually kill him very, very quickly, as the 20% HP cut from both Kaidos will proc every single turn and just take away his HP very, very quickly. So make sure you do utilize the full 4 turns that you have against King Punch before you move on to the next stage against Bardo. And if you can, try and get any TND or recovery orbs along the way. As you can see, I managed to get 3 here, so I'm going to try and farm some orbs. Unfortunately, I couldn't farm too many, but we did manage to get a couple. On the next stage, we come up against Bardo. Now, Bardo's going to give us 4 turns of Despair, and this is where we really want to try and get the verse effect of Kaido. Unfortunately, I still need 5 to my TNDs or my recoveries. So what we're going to do on this particular turn here is we can use this special of Luffy. Luffy's going to give us an attack buff, and he's going to remove the Despair. Now, I actually don't want to kill Bardo on this particular turn, mainly because I really want to make sure that I can get that versatility popping off on the next turn against Treble and a bunch of random enemies. So we managed to get lucky, and we managed to pick up 2 TND orbs on this particular turn. You can easily stall on the earlier stages, like against the Vacuum Cleaner Lady or something like that, to try and get those TND orbs. But basically, you just want the verse effect by this particular stage against Treble. Very, very important that you get at this point. That way you can actually just wipe away all the enemies in the back. Now, I just realized I haven't actually got my Buggy special. That's okay, because we have the versatility of Kaido. With Kaido, like, it's just, he just makes life so easy. As even though we might not be able to attack with our Kaido, the one that has the versatility, we still get the 500 times attack to all enemies end of turn, which means that we can easily blow away those enemies in the back. The enemies in the back are the guys that do a lot of the damage, and Treble in the front actually has a 3-turn cooldown, so we can actually take our time taking him out. He's not really a big threat for us, as he's just going to die from Kaido's end of turn damage on the next turn anyway. Boom. Catch you later, Treble. So on to the final stage now. We're coming against Dofi and a whole bunch of enemies. Lucky for us, though, we still have the other versatility of Kaido, so that way we can just blow away all the enemies. But the downside to this particular stage is the 2 Cannoneers in the corner. The 2 Cannoneers in the corner, they actually have quite a lot of HP. Well, they have quite a lot of defense, I should say. Not a lot of HP, but what we can do here is we can use the versatility of Kaido. That way we can get that massive end of turn. Then we can use our Kaido special. That way we can do a 20% HP cut to everyone and get an amazing attack boost. What you really want to do here is just try and put a pot shot into the enemies on the sides, and that way they will die with the end of turn damage. And then just utilizing Kaido's crazy verse effect, we can basically just blow everyone away easy peasy. So there you go. That was Heavenly Demon 1. Let's move on to Revolutionary Army 1 now. So on to the next Garp challenge. We're taking on Revolutionary Army 1. Now, I always found Revolutionary Army 1 to be one of the easier of the Garp challenges, mainly because it only just focuses on like 1 debuff, which is like bind, and that's about it. And it's only like 2 turns, or like 3 turns, so it's very easy to actually get around. But nevertheless, it is still one of the 10-star Garp challenges, and it is still part of the hardest content in the game. Nowhere near as hard as Dofi 2 and Revolutionary Army 2, but, you know, it's still up there. So after we just utilize all of our orbs so we can start farming up TND and recovery orbs, we can move on to the next turn against Kuma. So Kuma puts up 2 turns of defense up, and this is where we can use our Uso Hachi special to remove the defense up, and with the support of Sober Mask, we can get a cheeky little attack boost. Now, if we don't kill Kuma on this particular turn, it's not the end of the world, but we actually got very lucky with our orbs here, and we can easily take him out while eating up all those TND orbs. On the next turn, we come up against Robin and a bunch of, I don't know, what do you want to call them? Her gunner friends, I guess. What we want to do on this particular turn is we want to try and take out all of the girls around the outside, as they are going to do nasty things if we don't. And I just missed one of my perfects because I'm a spoon. Did I mention that to you guys, that I'm a spoon? Nah, you guys already know. And then on the second turn, we can take out Robin. So the end of turn HP cuts from Kaido is very, very handy, as it significantly reduces the amount of damage that we have to do moving into the second turn against Robin, or any stage at all, actually. It's very underrated. It's not a 40% HP cut, but like it's like 37 point something. And it actually reduces the HP of the enemy by quite a significant margin. On the next stage, we come up against Ivankov and Inuyasuma. They're going to blow away one of our middle row, and of course it is Marco and Ace, as always. On this particular stage, what we want to do here is we just want to just sort of pass a turn. There's not really much going on for us, as we do only have 5 units, and we do want to just try and build up our verse meter as much as we possibly can, so that way we can start cheesing the rest of the content. Once we have past the first turn, we can use our friend Kaido's special. That way we can get an attack buff, and then we can take out Inuyasuma and Ivankov fairly easily. Now, we do want to try and hit our 3 perfects, that way we can get the carryover orb buff, which should be fairly easy to do, as we have both Inuyasuma and Ivankov both alive, and that way we can carry the 2.5 times orb boost into the next stage against Bello Betty and Morley. Against Morley and Bello Betty, Morley's going to turn into an imp unit and lock it onto him. He has an extra HP barrier as well, and then Bello Betty is going to attack every turn with an attack up, but with the Victoria Punk, we can actually remove the HP barrier that is on Kaido, and then we can start using our verse abilities. Because these Garp challenges have no normal attacks only, it makes it very, very easy to actually cheese our way through with Kaido's end of turn damage as soon as we have it. But with the 5 times Captain multiplier, as well as their crazy ass special, like, it's sometimes just not even needed, as you guys just saw there. On the next stage, we come up against Lindbergh and Kurosawa. They give us a full board of block orbs, and they bind our right hand side. This is where we can use our Luffy special to remove the bind. He also gives us an attack up as well, which is pretty handy, as we still have the verse ability live of our Kaido, our friend Kaido. So we're just going to throw all of our shots into Lindbergh here, as Lindbergh... Oh, okay, no, we're not. We're going to kill Lindbergh, apparently. We're going to throw all our shots into Lindbergh with our strength units and finish with the Kaido that is doing the end of turn damage, and that way we can kill Kurosawa. Cool. The extra attack buff from Luffy is actually really, really nice, but you do have 2 turns to take that stage out, so don't stress if you don't use that Luffy. On the final stage, comes against Sabo Koala. They are going to... Oh, I should have used my Kaido special in the last turn. It is what it is. They are going to give us a 50% HP cut and give us burn. So this is where we can use our other verse ability of Kaido for that amazing end of turn damage. Then we can use the switch ability of our Marco and our Ace unit. And then we can use this special of our Kaido. And that way we can get an attack boost for our entire team. But because we are burnt, we do need to be very careful with how many perfects we can hit. So we're going to start hitting some greats. Hit some greats. Gonna hit some greats. And then we're just going to finish with the perfects on the Kaidos. Boom. Boom. Doing as much damage with that Kaido that has the verse ability live is fairly clutch, as that way we can actually do that big end of turn damage, or the single target end of turn damage anyway. Unfortunately, we didn't hit all of our perfects, so we can't actually get the carrier of the orb effect, but we're just utilizing the Marco and Ace special for their amazing 2.75 times attack boost to strength. We can easily just take him out with just one single Kaido tap. And that was Revolutionary Army 1. Done and dusted. On to the next Garp challenge now. We come up against WhiteBeard. Now, this is where things might get a little bit interesting, as on the Marco and Vista stage, we actually get normal attacks only. Now, normal attacks only really isn't an issue for Kaido, to be honest. A 5 times flat rate multiplier, Captain multiplier, as well as like an amazing special that can give an attack buff and an orb buff. Normal attacks only isn't really going to like hinder him too much, but as you guys have been seeing with these other runs, the end of turn damage is just a lot of fun. Like, a lot of fun. On stage 2, we come up against the Watermelon Head Man. He's going to give us 3 turns of attack down. Now, this is where the page 1 support on Kaido is absolutely amazing, as we can actually remove 2 turns of it, and then we can just pass the turn, just giving up all of our orbs to hopefully get some more TND and recovery orbs. With the 20% HP cut at the end of turn, it just does so much damage and helps us take out enemies very, very easily on the following turn. So that 20% end of turn HP cut is just nothing to shy at, because it can do a lot. Of course, we get no TND or recovery orbs. Of course. Why would you do that to me, game? Why would you want me to succeed? Oh well, we're going to take out the Watermelon Head Man anyway, and move on to stage 3 against the Chain Ball guy, Atmos, and Haguma. Is it Haguma? Is that how you say it? They're going to give us 3 turns of Special Blind, which is fine, because we lost our specials by stalling on that previous turn. And we do want to try and take out Haguma in the front here, as he does most of the damage, as he has double special activation. Well, like double special. He attacks twice per turn. You do need to be careful of Atmos as well, as he has he can bind your recovery. Depending on your limit breaks, though, it is dependent on that as well, though. So on turn 2, we can take out Mr. Chainball Man. And we do want to just try and just get rid of all of our orbs, so that way we can hopefully pick up some TND and recovery orbs on the next turn. So on the next turn, we come up against Isu, Speed Guru, and Fossa. Now, Fossa's on a 3-turn cooldown, so we did get fairly lucky there. What we're going to do on this particular stage is we're going to use this Luffy special, as we don't actually need his special for any other stage. And hopefully in that way we can actually take out Speed... Oh my gosh, hit your perfect stump. We can actually take out Speed Guru in the back and put a pot shot as well. No, we're not, because I missed my freaking perfect. So hopefully going to try and put a pot shot into Isu, but it's not really that big of a deal, as we can take out Isu on this next turn. And then we can use the next turn to take out Fossa. Now, if you guys get unlucky and Fossa's on a 2-turn cooldown... Actually, you know what? Oh, I got very close. If you had Fossa on a 2-turn cooldown and you didn't miss your perfect, you'd be able to kill him there as well. So, easy peasy. Now that we are on the final turn for Fossa, we can take him out and move on to stage 5. Against stage 5 now, we come up against Jozu. Jozu puts up 3 turns of defense up and damage reduction. And this is where we want to use one of our Kaido specials, as well as utilizing one of our Kaido verse specials. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, probably didn't need to use that Kaido special. Oh well, is what it is. And then before we actually attack, we do want to make sure we remove the damage reduction and the defense up. So we can do that with our Usohachi special. And then we can just say goodbye to Jozu here. Ba, 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 ba. And then Kaido's end of turn damage is going to go rar, rar, rar. Now, when Jozu dies, though, he does give us a normal attack only for 5 turns, which will go down to like 3 with preemptives and stuff like that. But it is still going to prove very finicky. On the Vista and Marco stage, they are going to give us 3 turns of paralysis, attack down, and chain lock. So this is where we can use... well, Rayleigh to remove the paralysis, I guess. But no, we're going to use the special of Buggy on this particular turn. Buggy's going to give us a full board of orbs, which is really, really handy, as we actually have the carryover orb buff from the previous turn with Kaido's special. Then we can use our other Kaido special to give us a attack boost. And that way we should be able to just absolutely clap both Marco and Vista on this particular turn. Boom. Doof. Rar. Beautiful. On the final stage, we come up against Ace and WhiteBeard. Ace and WhiteBeard are going to get absolutely clapped. They make strength like not have color affinity, which actually works in our favor as we are running a full strength team. So that's very, very handy. What we're going to do here is we get the carryover orb buff from the previous turn. We can switch with our Marco and Ace to get any more recovery orbs that we need. And then we can use our Marco and Ace to get the 2.75 times attack boost for our strength units. And with that, like, that is just going to be absolutely GG for our boys, WhiteBeard and Ace. Ready? Boof. Doof. Rar. Rar. Catch you later. So that was WhiteBeard. Normal attacks only. Doesn't stop Kaido. So for the final challenge, we're coming up against Eneru. Now, Eneru is a little bit finicky, and this is where you do need your Buggy limit break keyed, and with level, I think it's level 3 fear resistance. Otherwise, this team just does not work. There's really no other way around that, unless you sort of stall out the like 2 turns, cop the electric hit, and then like try and remove the defense up. But then you have to bring someone to remove the special bind, like Luffy Zoro, and it's just a pain in the ass. The buggy's it's a much easier way of getting around it. With Marco and Ace as well, we can remove the stun too. Very, very handy with them. Of course, all of our T&D characters get... Yeah, sick. Thanks, game. Marco and Ace is very, very good at removing the stun as well. That's the real... that's right, I have you. That's the most annoying part of this particular content. So, on Stage 2, we get 3 random crewmates blinded, but with the support of Rayleigh, we can get around that fairly nicely. And then we can just try and do as much damage as we possibly can to all of these Skypiea enemies. Now, unfortunately, we can't kill them all. But just trying to kill one of them is going to restrict a lot of damage. But this is a good time to start farming up T&D and recovery orbs. Oh, you love to see that. That's what you like to see, boys. On Stage 2, if you don't kill them, they are going to give themselves defense up. But that defense up is really not that high. And as you can see, it's very easy to get around. On Stage 3, we come up against Tweedledee and Tweedledum. They have a great barrier, and it's for 2 turns, and it's for 3 great hits. They also give us 2 turns of burn, which is very, very annoying. But with this particular team, we are just going to try and blast our way through with Kaido. So we are going to break through the great barrier, and then we're going to hit our 3 perfects. That way we can get the carryover effect for Kaido. So we're going to break the barrier, hit the goods, then we're going to hit our perfects. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. You love to see it. The burn damage is a bit significant, but it doesn't really matter. We'd rather have the orb carryover effect for this particular stage against Wiper and his 2 Skypiea friends. So against his Skypiea friends with that carryover orb buff, we can target the... What's his name? The quick unit in the back here. Take him out nice and easily, and then take out the chef in the back left-hand corner too. And now we can focus on Wiper. So... we actually have our verse meter. Ooh. So now that we've got our verse meter from Kaido, we are going to use that bad boy. That's going to make life a lot easier for us. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll be able to kill Wiper normally. So using that verse meter is actually going to help out quite a bit. Nope, we actually do. Okay, so we could have saved that verse meter. Oh well, it is what it is. On the next stage, we come up against the dude on the ball and Mr. Wingnut Man. I don't know his name, but I'm going to call him Wingnut. I like the name Wingnut. The guy on the ball is going to lock onto him, and he's going to give 4 turns of partial threshold. So this is where we can use our Usahachi special to remove the threshold, as well as give ourselves an attack buff. And then we can switch with our Marco and Ace to guarantee us some more matching orbs. And then we're just going to throw in some shots. Now, we still do have our verse meter live, so we do want to attack with our Kaido last. That way we can just maximize the damage with the chain lock, and then hopefully we can take out Mr. Wingnut as well. Oh, easily. See you later, mate. On stage 6, we come up against Gidatsu and Om. Now, Gidatsu and Om are going to bind our bottom row. And they are going to... what else do they do? They recovery bind us, that's right. So what we can do on this particular turn here is we can use our Luffy special. That way we can get an attack buff, as well as remove the bind. And then we can use our Verse Kaido special to give us that carryover orb effect. Then we can switch with our Marco and Ace and use our friend verse ability, just in case we don't have the damage for whatever reason, but we're going to have the damage, let's be real. And then we can just go dup, bop, boop, bop, beep, bop. And you're dead. And end of turn damage from Kaido is just wild, man. It's so cool to see. So on the final stage against Enel, he is going to turn into a quick dex unit, as we are a strength unit, which is very handy. And he wipes away all of our buffs, but verse abilities cannot be wiped away, which is just incredibly OP. He's going to bind, special bind all our characters, give our crewmates fear, and then he's going to stun our captain. So this is where we can use our buggy special to get a full board of orbs and remove the special blind. And then we can use our Marco and Ace special to give ourselves an attack buff and remove the stun on our captains. We can use the Victoria Punk special here as well, just to remove 1 turn of the barrier, I guess, but it's really not that big of a deal. And with that, we can say goodbye to our boy Enel. Catch ya. So there you guys go. That was mono strength against all the Garp challenges, 10-star events with the same team. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to go down there and belt the like button for me. And if you're new to the channel too, consider hitting that big red subscribe button too. And for all you bloody legends that are already subscribers, consider hitting the juicy join button and becoming members today. But guys, wherever you are in this beautiful world, make sure to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Lates!